The newly released Epstein files are once again shaking Washington with the spotlight on President Donald Trump. In an FBI document, part of the Justice Department's latest Epstein file dump, Trump is accused of hosting a party for prostitutes at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, a claim that DOJ itself warns may be false. The allegation appears in an October 2020 FBI tip, submitted just weeks before the presidential election. According to the summary, an unidentified woman told investigators she had been taken to a Palm Beach property believed to belong to disgraced late Jeffrey Epstein. She claimed the trip was arranged by someone named Ghislaine Lisa Villeneuve, a name similar to Epstein's longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. The woman alleged that she was instructed to stay close and avoid certain rooms. Later, she said she was told that Trump had invited the group to a party at Mar-a-Lago, but that she was warned it was not that kind of party, and instead was for prostitutes. There is no evidence in the file that the FBI verified this claim, pursued the tip, or found corroboration. Anticipating backlash, the Justice Department on Tuesday issued a preemptive warning alongside the document release, stating that some files contain untrue and sensationalist claims against Trump that were submitted shortly before the 2020 election. The DOJ said bluntly that the claims are unfounded and false, adding that if they had any credibility, they would have been weaponized years ago. Trump has never been accused of criminal wrongdoing related to Epstein or Mar-a-Lago. He has repeatedly said he cut ties with Epstein in the mid-2000s and kicked him out of the club for inappropriate behavior. But the documents still raise uncomfortable questions. Other files released by the DOJ show that Trump appeared on Epstein's private jet flight logs at least 8 times between 1993 and 1996, including trips where young women were also listed as passengers. Another FBI tip describes a limousine driver who claimed he overheard Trump in 1995 repeatedly saying the name Jeffrey on a phone call and making references to abusing some girl. The driver said he did not know who Trump was speaking to or whom the comment referred to. Trump has never been charged or accused in court over this claim. The files also include explosive, unproven allegations that Trump and Epstein assaulted a woman, but these claims were never prosecuted and remain unsubstantiated. Adding to the mystery, a document attributed to Epstein's brother Mark alleges that Epstein believed he would be killed for naming names, and claims Trump authorized it. Epstein's death in 2019 was ruled a suicide. As the DOJ continues releasing files under the Epstein Transparency Act, a law Trump himself signed under pressure, the question remains, are these documents exposing truth or simply amplifying unverified accusations that may never be resolved? Either way, the Epstein shadow refuses to fade.
A disturbing new document tied to Jeffrey Epstein is reigniting questions around his final days and forcing the U.S. Justice Department to step in. The Department of Justice has now confirmed the fakeness of a letter that appeared to have been written by Epstein and addressed to Larry Nassar, the former U.S. gymnastics team doctor serving decades in prison for sexually abusing hundreds of young athletes. The letter surfaced in the latest release of Epstein files, and its contents are deeply unsettling. In the handwritten note, the author, signing off as J. Epstein, appears to reference Epstein's death, writing, "As you will know by now, I have taken the short route home." The letter goes on to praise what it calls a shared love and caring for young ladies, before making an explicit and crude reference to President Donald Trump, claiming that our president also shares our love of young, nubile girls. Trump has repeatedly denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes or any wrongdoing, and the Justice Department has emphasized that claims against Trump contained in these files are unfounded and false. But what has triggered immediate scrutiny is not just the letter's content, but it's the timeline. According to Trump's DOJ, 3 facts prove the letter is fake. First, the writing does not appear to match Jeffrey Epstein's. Second, the envelope is postmarked Virginia, not New York, where Epstein was jailed at the time. And third, the return address lists the wrong jail and does not include Epstein's inmate number, a requirement for outgoing mail. Investigators found the envelope in a jail mailroom, returned from a prison in Arizona, marked no longer at this address, days after Epstein's death in 2019. An internal email shows uncertainty among officials over whether the letter should even be opened. It remains unclear whether Epstein and Nasser ever had any direct relationship. Nasser is currently serving a 60-year federal sentence in addition to a 40 to 175-year state sentence after more than 150 women, including Olympic champions, testified that he sexually abused them. The documents released comes as questions continue to swirl around Epstein's death, which was ruled a suicide, a finding his brother, Mark Epstein, continues to dispute. Now, the mystery surrounding Epstein's final days and the documents he left behind has only deepened.
The Justice Department has released tens of thousands of new documents connected to the investigations into late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. While voluminous, the release contained little revelatory information that wasn't already in the public domain. It contains multiple mentions of President Donald Trump, who was friends with the financier before they had a falling out. One of those mentions was in an email from a prosecutor who was flagging that Trump had traveled on Epstein's private plane multiple times in the 1990s. Asked for comment about that email, the White House pointed to a Justice Department statement saying that the release included false claims about Trump submitted to the FBI before the 2020 election. The email was sent in January of 2020, shortly before the filing of a criminal case against Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. It said that Trump was listed as a passenger 8 times between 1993 and 1996. Maxwell was also listed as a passenger on 4 of those flights. The prosecutor who wrote the email said they were doing so because they didn't want the information to come as a surprise. It has since been publicly reported. Trump himself has expressed frustration about the controversy over the files, saying that it was distracting from the successful work Republicans are doing.